born in a village called Ballyhoneen in the Dingle Peninsula. It stretches from Tralee, the capital of County Kerry, right across to the Blasket Islands. I was born there in 1930, 23rd of May, and there were 3 houses in the village, 3 different families. There are 4 now. We were probably the the dominant family. I think the land was given to my great-great-grandfather years and years ago by a landlord called Hickson, and apparently he got the land in 1847 because he built a poorhouse for the poor in the time of the famine, you know. He gave him the land, and then they divided up the land between himself and his family and the Rohans and the Mansons. My father was a farmer, and he was a full-time farmer. We had a farm of about maybe 50 acres and about 1,000 acres of hill land, highland land, where we kept sheep. My mother was a housewife, and then the children, of course, helped in the farm one way or the other. There were 8 originally, but one died at the age of 3, a girl, so leaving 7. 5 girls originally and 3 boys. The farm was passed on to my brother called Tom. He was the oldest. I was the last, number 8, 1930. So they were all grown up by the time I began to grow. They were all working already. The girls had gone off to do nursing and so on. 2 of them went off nursing at the age of maybe 18, and one joined the Sisters of St. Joseph in America, USA. So by the time I was growing up, there were very few in the family except my parents, my grandmother, my uncle, and my brother John, and my sister Bridie. Just that. The rest had all gone. I went to school about a mile away, and we walked to school, of course, every day, the whole lot, from the village, together, as a group. And in the summer, we never wore shoes because it was very warm, and we didn't mind. In the winter, we had to wear shoes, of course. So, quite enjoyable. Simple, 2 classrooms, 2 rooms, one for senior infants and lower infants, and one for the higher learning students, you know. I went to school at the age of 4 and finished at the age of 14. I would have gone to the Christian Brothers, Irish Christian Brothers in Dingle, which was about, 7 miles away. He wanted me to go to secondary school. We had plenty of relatives in Dingle, of course, as well, where I could stay. I would have stayed during the week and come back at the weekend. Yeah, that kind of thing. One day in the summer, it must have been the month of May or June, I can't remember. This brother Oliver, a De La Salle brother, we'd never met him before. He arrived in school, and he asked the principal, Mr. Dowd, John Dowd, if he could speak to the students. So of course Mr. Dowd said, no problem. And he spoke to us about the De La Salle brothers. We'd never heard of the De La Salle brothers, no idea. But he said he was here to tell us about them. So he told us about them, how they were founded by John Baptist de La Salle in Reims, etc., etc., etc. And then he said, if any of you are interested, I will speak to you again later. So he said, is there anybody here interested? So 2 of us put up our hands, one from the house next door and myself. And then he called us later about maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon and explained more to us and said, were we sure? Oh, we said we were sure, fairly sure. And so he said, I'll see your parents. So he said, tell your parents. And then he said, as soon as possible, I will see them. I'll be here for about 2 or 3 weeks. He's from a place not very far away. So he came eventually to the house, to the 2 houses, and spoke to the parents. My mother was fully behind me, going to the De La Salle. She didn't know anything about the De La Salle. But she thought it was a very religious institute. And then my father was objecting He didn't agree. But Brother Oliver managed to get it clear to him that it was a good idea, that the brother would be doing very good work, and if he wasn't happy there, he could always come back, and so on.